All right, guys, game one of the grand finals of today's tournament. It's going to be the French led by Mixu facing off against the Chinese, who shall be helmed by Sim Tom. Let's get this party started, have some fun. Thank you all for joining, and let's see how this goes. First map here is going to be the Hill and Dale. Now, perhaps this is one of the reasons why Sim Tom decided to go with Chinese, because on this map, it's basically each player starts on a hill and there's 3 choke points, which is pretty easy to turtle in. Like right here, you can turtle. You could build a barbican to the sun right here, and wooden walls and wooden walls. And then basically the French aren't going to be able to do anything to you. They're going to have to get through the wooden walls, which will take some time with repairs, or they will, just have to play eco, which is pretty interesting. Plus 10 social credit score. Yes, China is here. Now, China builds buildings 100% faster, which is crazy. So look how fast they get that house up. Whereas the French, they're just getting started on the house, and that Chinese worker just went bananas. He built the hell out of that house right there. And the mining camp is already done. So China can build things really quick. China also advances quicker because they build faster in general. They do build buildings, defensive buildings like keeps and walls 50% faster, because in the earlier versions of the beta for this game, people found that with China, with the 100% build rate for keeps, they would just spam build keeps in your opponent's base with a twice as fast build rate. And people were basically just getting karate chopped, yeah. So pretty damn funny for sure. You know what's actually something else that's quite interesting about China? In the earlier days of the, I believe in the stress test at some point, China used to start with additional workers. And that was one of their faction traits, which was a little bit overpowered, but they don't anymore. Now, the sheep are being herded here for the French player. Very standard opening, just going to be going gold and food right away. No fancy lumber tricks. Although I would imagine China will wall. And this map, like I said, is super easy to wall. You can wall right here. You don't even have to wall the low ground. Like walling here is probably better anyways, because it's easier to get to it and repair with some workers. Set up the barbican to the sun right here, set up walls right here with an outpost, and then boom. From there, you just go mad eco, mad tech. China's tech and artillery at age 3 is freakishly powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. And look how quickly they set up this lumber mill. It's pretty insane. And that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, China is very complex, but I really do think that they're a strong faction and have a lot of potential. But you really, really need to kind of master the dynasty system and learn how to take advantage of all their unique buildings. They have the granary, they have the pagoda, they have the villages. They have so much unique shit. It's like much more complex. Much more complex. Hey, Robert, appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, the French buildings were made in China. Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, so the lumber mill's coming up here, and now it looks like, look at this. Excuse me. Sim Tom is getting the barbican to the sun, and just like we talked about, we are prophetic. We've done it together, chat. He has gotten the barbican to the sun up and is going to be setting up right here, getting that beautiful, beautiful wall off. And yeah, like the thing about the barbican is it has 50 damage versus ranged. So it'll like 3-shot or 4-shot French knights. Yeah, 3-shot them in the beginning, I think. And it hits pretty damn hard. And you can also garrison inside of it. The barbican to the sun is a great defensive landmark. So this plus any walls like up here will pretty much fend off any rushes. So look at this. China is at 3 minutes in the game. 3 minutes, they're halfway done with their landmark, and the French have just started the School of Cavalry, which is very quick also, but the Chinese landmark is building so much faster than the French one, so they're able to get ahead. Like, many good Chinese players will be able to get like an age 3 landmark, like just so goddamn fast. Like, I don't know what the mark is. I haven't really tested it, but probably like 7, 8, 9 minutes they could get it if they're really, really on top of it. Anyways, here, China is switching to a bit of a lumber economy. No wooden walls have come up yet. I definitely would like to see some wooden walls, considering the map is the Hill and Dale, because like the barbican is really nice here, but if you're not able to get those walls off, you know, the French are just going to come in the back and start harassing you there and giving you all sorts of problems. Are we going to see early Royal Knights? Man, that School of Cavalry is taking so long compared to the Chinese landmark. The Chinese landmark's almost done, and we're not even at the 4-minute mark yet. That is some speed building shit. How many workers? And he only has 1 worker on it. There's only 1 worker. I think he had more initially, and he must have pulled them. So yeah, China's going to be going for a boom economy. They're getting stone here, hitting wood pretty hard. Probably going to be able to get, honestly, their second TC up before they even get second age here for the French, which is pretty wild for sure. So the barbican to the sun is up. It has pretty massive range. You can see it kind of shoots down into the valley here as far as its damage profile. The hand cannon, oh, it only does 25. I thought it does 50. I guess against ships it does. Sometimes on naval maps, Chinese will build the barbican to the sun near the coast. But overall, I think this is totally fine. So the stone getting ham here. China pretty close to getting its second TC. No military infrastructure or defensive buildings being put up in the main base yet. But they're so far ahead of the French in terms of advancement that, you know, they don't really have to worry about it. They know that their opponent can't even produce cavalry yet at age 1, so they don't need to rush the walls. They can really kind of take it slow And the second TC is going to be set up, I would imagine, right here. This would be a sweet spot because it hits the gold, it hits the berry bushes, and the deer camp. So it looks like they're just taking out a couple deer. Yeah, that's a really, really good spot for that. Yeah, and China can also get stone walls early if they want to. Yeah, they absolutely can. I don't know if they have a reserve of stone. Doesn't look like it. China has gotten their TC up. And look at that. China basically completing its second TC before its opponent even gets to the second age. Really cool build by Simtom. I'm definitely impressed. But again, the worst has yet to come. Everything is sunshine and rainbows for the Chinese early on when they're building and teching, but shit's gonna get super real when the French come in with their cavalry and start to press in, and China's gonna be forced to defend itself because they have nothing to defend themselves with at this point. Nothing really. Now, French are going to be doing the same thing, albeit a little bit slower. They are going with the old the stone economy here. So we're going to be saving up some stone. Granted, they're just getting started, although no, Mixu actually has a fair amount. Looking at his resources, he is at 280 and 400. French knights are going to be coming out and pouring over into the Chinese base. Good scouting here by the French player. He is going to be seeing that there is indeed a backdoor opportunity into the Chinese base, but the first barracks is coming up, so Spearman will be pouring out to defend against the cavalry. I really, really would like to see some walls, man. Like, you're ahead on eco by so much at this point. Like, just building the stone walls, like, for, like, 200 stone, I think would be really worth it. Especially if French is, like, investing in knights actively, although it looks like only one French knight's going to be coming out. And the second TC, ooh, this is good. Knowing Chinese are so defensive and they really don't want to leave their hill, getting the aggressive keep to take resources on the open map, I think, is a very beautiful play. On top of that, near a gold vein and also near the town center here. Not near a big Chungus gold vein, but still... It's still a safe-ish position, like it's close to the main base, and you could probably get there and do it. So palisades are coming down for the Chinese. Looks like they are going to be built on both sides. No, just on the south right now. I don't see any worker going to build them, but Chinese, of course, build walls very, very quickly. And in terms of the economy overall, let's take a look at Mixu's forces. He's got 29 villagers. Looking at Simtom, he's going to be rocking 30. So China's actually ahead of the French, which is very rare. Usually, the French are going to be ahead in terms of villagers. So Spearmen are here. French knights are pouring in, and the palisades weren't able to finish. It looks like he started to build them, but he didn't, continue. Mixu's going to need to obviously get them while they're unbraced. And for Simtom, he's going to want to make sure that he's braced for these charges here. The Barbican to the Sun will keep the reinforcements from coming in the front. Up in the north, we don't see any palisades yet, and the imperial official for the Chinese is now collecting taxes. So he is taxing the hell out of those poor peasants, and he will be giving the gold back to the, to the emperor or whoever. I don't really know how that works. The second TC is here. French are just now getting their TC up, so the Chinese have had a little bit of an advantage there, but now they have to deal with this French cavalry harass. They really need to get those walls up, man. I don't know why people are so apprehensive to, invest in walls. I mean, he's sitting pretty good on lumber. Tom could easily afford it. It's only like 40 lumber to wall this off or something like that. A little bit of a mismicro. The French knight riding through the front. The Barbican to the Sun won't kill him, but it will get a fair amount of HP damage on him. So you can see the French knight is forced back. While the Chinese have yet to build the palisades, more spearmen coming out. They do have double barracks. But French might come in with archers? No. It looks like this is going to be a late game play. It looks like both players have kind of agreed that this is going to be a late game struggle. Because if this were more of a French all-in, you probably would see an archery range, which we saw before. The archers, of course, the counter to the spearmen. Spearmen moving out now. Will the French go up and around the top? Probably not. And here's another lumber mill. So this is a good tip for you newer players. If you're just getting into the game, you'll notice that the forest originally was right here. Well, what happens is your lumber workers will cut into the forest, and then from there, your workers have a longer trip. Every so often, you want to refresh your lumber mill. Build it closer to the forest so you have a quicker drop-off. It will outweigh the cost that you have to spend on it. You're going to get a little bit better off there. So spearmen being sent to the northern border. The French knights look like they want to come in that direction, but the spearmen are rotating. And now the Chinese worker, who builds the defensive buildings 50% faster, is going to be able to get these walls up. And yeah, he's going to be sitting quite cozy here. Here are the spearmen. Here they come. They should be able, if they brace, they'll defeat these knights. If they don't, they'll lose. They charge in, but the knights missed the charge. Okay, they didn't get an attack order. Now the Chinese spears are getting the French knights down, and they are going to be forced back down the hill. So far, good positioning, able to really defend himself quite well, while China continues to just pump out workers galore. Now, China has not unlocked its dynasty yet. Its dynasty does let them produce workers 35% faster, so they can actually massively outpace pretty much everyone in the game if you unlock the Song Dynasty, which unfortunately I cannot see from a spectator perspective. But Scout here going to get prison shanked by all of these spearmen. Oh, but he just barely gets away. And the spearmen are kind of overextending, but the Chinese are actually pushing. These spearmen coming out of here with the steel chair. Here they come. The Chinese certainly have endured the storm. The walls are set up here in the south. Houses being built by China. And yeah, more lumber mills being set up in the front, and I would imagine the spearman push will it continue on? I don't know. Couldn't really do much. Like, spearmen aren't going to be able to crack a town center, right? Unless you had like 100 of them, which obviously is ridiculous. But it looks like more Chinese spearmen are moving out, going to be trying to put some pressure on the French, which is interesting. And another set of walls being built here, which again, I heavily agree with. That is going to prevent harass. And then if the French want to come in, they have to come in your front door, which is a giant erect barbican of the sun. Just going to be blocking out the sun and barbecuing the French knights. Now here, they're just kind of circling. French, I think, is going full eco. No, actually, they're not. They're going with archers. Interesting. So it looks like they might try and press the Chinese, but the Chinese should have enough time to prepare for this. And in terms of current resources, Sim Tom is going to be getting a faster, I would imagine, yeah, a faster castle age here. You can see he's got 860 and 834 banked, and it's just falling back now, which is good. If he had pushed in there, that could have been bad. Like, the French archers might have mobilized, killed the spearmen, and then while they're trying to retreat, the cavalry would have rode them down. So that could have been pretty bad. But yeah, classic defensive Chinese, which is typically how they want to play. China can do some early aggression. What you can do with them is actually get the barbican to the sun, set it up in front of your opponent's base, and then like press them with it. But typically it's a little bit of a janky all-in, and I wouldn't recommend it. Now, workers moving out, a lot of spearmen to protect them. They are hardened spearmen, and it looks like they are, ooh, there might be an opening there. I'm not sure if you can fit back there. But these Chinese workers, where are they going? Yeah, this is wild. Are we going to see some like Chinese like proxy expansion up in the north? That would actually be really good. Oh man, the French knight's getting picked off by the spearmen. He wasn't paying attention, and Mixu loses a couple knights to these angry Chinese spearmen. Continuing to chase him down. Archers are moving, but honestly, I don't think that's enough archers. Now, we see the Chinese coming in with the clock tower, astronomical clock tower. Yeah, I almost called it the nest of bees, but this is a really, really good landmark for China, an incredibly powerful spike for them. Basically, it produces siege engines, but they have 50% more health. So you can get like really, really good springalds, and if you're in artillery trades in the late game, you have these springalds which have 50% more HP, and you're going to be winning artillery trades, which is very nice. And where are these workers going? Oh, is he setting up a trade route? Wow, this is really, really crazy. Setting up a trade route against the French? Or is he going to jump in the outpost and shoot that boar? I don't know if you actually can. I'm quite curious what he's going to do with those. Yeah, he's got the dudes. Oh my god, look at this. He sets up an outpost to attack the boar, and then he's going to farm it too. That is such a big brain play coming in here from SimTom. I love that so much. That is so cool. Now, we have the double nest of bees. Oh, dude, someone's going to get Nicolas Caged so hard by the nest of bees. And what else is he producing? Probably just spears. Maybe get some palace guard mixed in there to, chase them down. We'll see. But look at that. The boars are getting karate chopped here by the tower. Although, this is kind of buggy. Where are the workers? Wait, did the boar kill the workers in the tower? Is he able to, like, get his tusks through the tower? Because there was 5 workers there. What the hell happened? Or is it just buggy? Oh no, all 5 workers are hiding behind the tower. Oh my god, look, he aggroes the boar onto the tower, and then he gets the workers out to shoot with the bows. Oh, that's so good. All right. So yeah, these archers will get absolutely massacred by the clock tower nest of bees. So we got 2 of them moving out. It's going to be, basically the game will come down to how well can the Chinese protect their nest of bees. If the French are able to kill it early, they'll win the game, most likely. But if China can protect those nest of bees, they're going to just run this French army over. Man, they got 3 nest of bees right now. They're going to Nicolas Cage so hard right here. Not the bees! Yeah, Mixu reaches castle age, a little bit behind. Now we have the boar food economy. So China is going to get a massive spike from this boar carcass. The boars actually give a ton of food. The gather rate is quite insane. French knights getting cut down by the Chinese spears, which are now veteran, and the artillery is covering from behind, but he needs to make sure that he keeps his army together. If those clock towers get caught out in the open, it's going to be pretty rough. I think seeing the speed upgrade for artillery would also be very strong with this build as well. Currently, SimTom a little bit ahead on score. Certainly sitting quite cozy. And the boar economy up in the north is going to be kicking in. So if we look at the income per minute, China is a little bit behind on food, but they should be catching up as that boar does its business. And this is a good response. The French are going to be getting a keep, which not only decreases the cost of nearby military infrastructure, but it also will help defend against this. And Nest of Bees isn't going to be good against the keep. Very, very well played there by Mixu. Because if the Nest of Bees had gotten on the town center, that would have been an absolute disaster. It would have been, workers just going down in droves, and the troll toll most likely would have been paid. But 3 Nest of Bees are coming. Wow, look at all the workers that are coming out too. Is there going to be an aggressive Chinese keep? I think so. Looking at current resources, China is banking enough for a keep, so maybe China will come down here. There's so much French action they could stop here, but going after the keep, I think they're going to have to go down and around and push up into the back of the French base and keep those reinforcements piling in, obviously. But maybe they'll go north as well. Looks like there are some wooden walls up there. I think Chinese might go that direction. A couple Chinese workers are maybe, you know, on break here, looking to explore their surroundings. But the French have caught up. Really, really good French position here. They have the stables, the archery ranges. The keep is going to be able to defend very effectively from there. And now the Chinese are going to be pushing up to the north. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad the French are blue and the Chinese are red. I agree. Yeah, no, it's definitely some solid color coding there. But China's going to get aggressive. They're going to get into the French base. And, oh my God, if they get a keep back here, that is going to be a disaster for the French. Because the French have a pretty static position. I mean, they have a couple archers, but yeah, it looks like they're going to get in. And the clock tower nest of bees, they're coming for that booty. And in the meantime, China has almost caught up on food, but Mixu is still a little bit ahead. He's obviously got some decent farm economy started in his base. The archers are coming around, but the nest of bees will bombard the hell out of these archers if they get close. So, yeah, you can see the Chinese pushes upon us. Nest of bees are here, and here comes the firecrackers. You can see a couple archers getting bombarded, but it does a ton of splash damage. So those nest of bees, man, they're going to be nasty. And China building that keep super quick. Basically, just need to keep these spearmen back. Yep, just keep bombarding them. It's going to force those archers away. And China might actually just do a keep push here. Just like build a bunch of keeps and push into the French base. That's going to deny this gold farming, which is really, really powerful. Yep, villagers getting bombarded. Oh man, the villagers getting taken out by the nest of bees. Brutal. And now the keep is here, but it wasn't quite close enough. If it had been built up here, it would have been devastating. But is China going to build another one? Oh my God, they are. Sim Tom is saving up his stone. Jeez, guys, there's going to be another push here. China has a massive, look at the middle. He's just going for a keep push. And there's going to be another keep coming down any second. China has 650, getting very, very close. One of the spearmen overextending a little bit. And the French are forced into their base here. Now, French knights are amassing in numbers. Looks like they're going to go for a very aggressive push. You really got to make sure these nest of bees don't get like lost to something like this, like overextending. You got to keep those things alive. And there should be a keep coming up here any second, which is pretty much going to compromise the school of cavalry. So looking to torch. Oh my God, look at the keep position. It's right in the middle of the base. Oh, the Chinese keep rush. But the French knights are coming in. The spears need to get back and protect the nest of bees. Okay, they're rushing over. French knights should get taken down here. The nest of bees need to switch into the archers here, and they are going to be shooting in. Massive spray fire damage coming in. China building that keep 50% faster, but some of the workers are getting picked off here, but so too are the French knights as they ride past the keep. We got 5 Chinese workers left. Are they going to be able to get it? French knights moving in. It's so close to finishing, and the French are taking big casualties, but so too are the Chinese. And it looks like the keep is going to get denied. What a good hold there. That was a beautiful hold. If that keep had finished, that probably would have been game blouses. Now, the problem for the old French is the fact that there still are 3 nest of bees. He wasn't able to kill any of them. Does China have any villager reinforcements coming in? If he could get like a whole batch of villagers, yeah, look at this. The villager legion is coming to finish this keep. The nest of bees need to be kept back and just used defensively and well protected. But man, shutting down the gold here is really nasty as well. Back to income per minute. One of the nest of bees might get torched by the French knights, but the nest of bees dropping some serious firepower. The Chinese meta perhaps developing. Is the Chinese nest of bees spear rush with keep follow-up going to be standard? We will find out. Now, the French do have a counterweight trebuchet. They are going to start blasting here. Look at the nest of bees shooting into it. Oh my God, that's so funny. Probably going to want to pull that back. Where are the Chinese villagers? Here they come. Will the keep get finished? Oh man, the French knights going in. If this keep gets finished and repaired, I am going to be feeling very, very bad for the French. And more French getting bombarded by the clock tower nest of bees. Now, some of these artillery pieces would have died if it wasn't from the clock tower, right? The 50% HP making a big difference. Spearman diving in. And the dread legion of Chinese villagers, they are going to finish this for sure. They're going to get that finished. Spearman just running around the French base. Here it comes. Oh, the keep is finished. Are there going to be repairs? It's getting repaired, and now it's shooting in. The nest of bees are going to be forced to fall back. Spearmen are chasing down archers, but taking big casualties. And another keep being built in the center by China to take control of the gold veins. Dude, this game is absolute bananas. But that keep in the center, I mean, the School of Cavalry and the Royal Institute are in danger. And China, I wonder if they're going to build some like artillery back here. They don't have enough wood right now. They've run out of wood, so the repairs are getting a little bit sparse. Are they going to let the nest of bees go down? He's got to get that back. It's got 23 HP. He's building a mining camp. He's going to steal the gold from the French base. Oh my God, some of the workers also getting taken out. Springald's being built. French trying to get whatever artillery they can. But that keep is still just such a presence here. Yeah, I don't know what it's shooting into. It doesn't have a cannon emplacement, obviously. But China is starting to get some disgusting map control too. In terms of income per minute, China was a little bit behind, but they should be catching up now that they have this gold site in the middle. The boar camp up in the north still yielding pretty good food, but honestly the French are out ecoing pretty hard. But you can see the food economy starting to tank a little bit, and now we're getting a siege workshop in base. China is taking over their base, and they are making it theirs. Are we going to see a spring ult in placement? Yep, and as workers come out, the keep is actually popping them. Oh my god, that's foul. Trebuchet, though, might get the job done. How many trebs do we have? Just one. That treb is certainly getting that keep a little bit lower. We got a couple more spearmen rallying forth, maybe to go after these archers. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. This is a really good hold by Mixu, though. I expected this to just be like game over with the double keeps in the backfield, but oh, these workers need to get on the gold here. I think he kind of forgot about them. Well, he'll find out in time. Good play here, because a lot of players, when they get pressured, will just turtle up in their base and kind of panic, but Mixu is still harassing and trying to get some map control with these guys, which is very, very excellent. But most of the places are protected. There's a keep here. China's walled off. They don't have too many vulnerabilities. Granted, the French Knights might be able to find some. So spring ult's being made. Are we seeing trebuchets? It looks like this keep might actually be going down, and the gold is now being stolen here. So the defensive position, maybe we're going to see some counterweight trebuchets from China. It's hard to say. China getting its spring ult here to shoot into the spring ult of the French. Actually pretty big. Nest of Bees also shooting as well. So will it get it? Yep, it will. One spring ult does fall. China just kind of torching these walls in the back. Two more Nest of Bees coming into the base, and this keep is very, very desperately being repaired. But I don't think it's worth the repair anymore. I think the double trebuchets will outpace your repairs. Just get these workers back on the gold and do your thing. Nice catch, though, man. Man, Mixu is such a scrappy player. He's really, really just running around the map, torching and getting a ton of value where he can. Look at this. Look at these villagers like right next to each other. But China's taking over in gold. A little bit behind on lumber and food, though. So we'll see if China's sustain will carry the day here. Man, how is that keep being kept alive? I think he's trading gold to keep that thing going. You need a counterweight trebuchet. If there was a counterweight treb, that would do a lot of work here. The clock tower Nest of Bees spring ult going to be trading here, but the French are able to push it back. And will the French defend this? That would be a crazy, crazy good defense. That would be absolute lunacy. This keeps still going. I mean, it certainly put a bit of a dent in the base. Oh, but the Nest of Bees are overextending and being taken apart by the spring ults. You gotta pull those back. I think at this point, maybe China has to, count its losses here in the base and be like, hey, we did enough damage. Let's get back. And look at the score starting to actually reflect an advantage for Mixu, because this whole time, man, I neglected to look at this. Mixu is going bananas on the food economy. And this is like a classic case of like performance under pressure. He has been under the most extreme pressure, but he didn't let that affect the rest of his performance. He's building farms everywhere and just getting crazy, crazy good value. I am so goddamn impressed by this play. And China has gotten good map control too, but the entire time the French Knights are riding around harassing. Meanwhile, the trebuchets are knocking down the Chinese keeps here. China was able to steal a little bit of gold here, but in the end, it looks like their efforts have been thwarted, and the French are going to be able to push out the Chinese. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, a couple villagers here might go down. Spearmen have, how fast are they? 1.25, and villagers are 1.29. So villagers are a little bit faster. Here, the Chinese keep is able to get a couple pot shots and pick them off, which is certainly feels good. Now, who is closing in on the Imperial Age? Current resources, nobody's really saving for it. Looks like both players are just kind of playing a little bit more defensively here. French are going to be doing a keep on the Sacred Site. Yeah, they're going to get the Sacred Site here and hold this bad boy up in the north. That boar is still feeding people. 137 supply. Yeah, guys, the French have gotten back in this game in a very strong way. And, it had nothing to do with the French Knights. Oftentimes we'll see games and be like, oh, French Knights OP or whatever. But this was just tenacity, siege workshops, good archer play, and that's it. I mean, China still does have a keep back here, which is kind of annoying, but you can basically ignore that for now because the real game is going to be won on the center of the map. Now, China still does have decent control here of this gold vein. The French don't have any big gold veins. Like, they're going to run out of gold in their main base. And if China can prevent them from getting, control of the gold... Oh, the Nest of Bees is going to get so many kills here. Oh, man. Oh, is Mixu going to see this? The Nest of Bees are going to massacre these workers building this building, and that's going to be a ton of villagers lost. Might even stop the keep. These Nest of Bees will probably die to the French Knights, but oh my god, these villagers are getting bombarded. They're just going down in droves. Well, the Chinese spearmen continue to chase down the French Knights. The Nest of Bees still bombarding here, but now they were able to finish the keep, and the Nest of Bees are going to be forced back here, so we'll see what happens. Up here, farms being set up, just a random little Chinese farm economy. Current resources and income favoring the French across the board because of this just giant farm economy they have down here. And the triple trebs too. I mean, the trebuchets they use to defend their base, they might be able to get some map control with that now. Now China is going to be setting up military infrastructure in the center of the map and preparing to fight back against the French incursion as their keeps do fall. Now, they're not like the Holy Roman Empire that can, get some crazy business going with their keeps and repair them. So their keeps will fall. No dynasty play, which is very interesting. I expected to see a little bit of dynasty play. We only have 2 landmarks, so China is not really utilizing its dynasty system because I think his build was more focused on just getting in there and having a very aggressive, keep all in of sorts. Granted, I don't think this game's over, but it is going to get a lot tougher for the Chinese now that the French actually have a mobile cavalry force, which is causing problems. They've claimed control of this gold vein right here. And will the Chinese be able to do anything about it? I'm not sure. The veteran Royal Knights continuing to ride around. Nesta B's running for the hills, but the French Knights are going to see this thing and probably take it down. One last volley to rule them all. Will it shoot? Yep, gets a couple shots there on those guys, and does not kill a knight. So China with another TC here, though, setting up a lot of farm economy, and the sacred site being captured by the French priest up in the north. Up on the far side, this little secret agent farm economy doing its best, and Chinese are capturing the sacred site in the bottom. So yeah, this game's coming together. China could certainly kind of maybe regain its advantage with some Imperial Age play, but overall I think the French are certainly going to be taking control of the middle of the map. Now China could fall back into its base and just kind of really go for like some tier 4 heavy play, but I think that's kind of a recipe for disaster. The Chinese monk getting run down here by the veteran Royal Knights. They get their charge bonus for 3 seconds. They get, I believe, a 15% damage spike after their charge. It is the reason why they're so good in conjunction with their healing. But man, China was so close to winning this game. This was a really, really good match. Like the French were on their back foot for a good 5 minutes here. Like a good solid 5 minutes. So China is getting their own Lancers, which won't fight terribly well against French Knights, but it does give them the option to chase down artillery. Veteran Spearmen are on the hunt, but now the French do have the Arbalists as well. And China is really being forced back across the map. The Trebuchet push, backed up by the Elite Knights and the Archers and Crossbowmen, is going to be quite devastating. I think China's going to have to form a Helm's Deep right here and try and hold. Their 3 monks are being forced back. Relics are being brought back to the base, so both players look to be securing some relics. Oh, are we going to see a Wololo? Yeah, no, China knows it's over. The French have taken map control. They could survive for another 20 minutes, but the game was pretty much lost at that point. Although, I don't know, there was still a slim fighting chance. It was going to be hard, but he wants to get on to the next game, rinse and repeat. GG, well played. What an awesome scrap. Now looking here at the score plates, you can see China was ahead up until the 3rd age. And then when that push failed, you can see the big battle here. The French pulled ahead. So that was a great game. Really good showcase of China. I think they have a ton of potential, and I think people will unlock it, and it's going to get really, really scary. But Mixu stayed so calm under that pressure. I'm incredibly impressed by that. So